Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, we are bringing you some more SD2 action. This time it's a real ripper of a 3v3 on Orsha North, another beautiful map that we think we decided what's like, I don't know, Colville and what was the other one I said? Como
Samont Levant, yeah, it's
Ah,
has elements of both in one map, 2 for 1.
indeed, indeed. In fact, the great thing about this, Ryan, tell us who's fighting and what's so special about that.
Well, on the right hand side in red, we have Pino Yakuza as the Soviet Tank Division, Freud as the new 26 Guards Division, and Vec as the Soviet Tank Division, which like second something Guards.
The second, yeah.
Yeah, it's they're all just guarding something, guarding the motherland. And on the left-hand side for the Germans, we have Seaholm CB playing the 78th Sturm, Erin Rommel, of course, playing the Panzer Division, 5th Panzer, and Commando, great name. That's a really good name. As 78th Sturm.
So you were telling me, I admit I haven't got a lot of time with this with the 26th Guard Strakovi. You said there's some really kind of interesting things about that. Tell us a little bit more about them.
Yeah, so both of the new divisions are pretty much like infantry sort of divisions, or infantry focused. 78th is fun. They got shit tons of STGs. Like if you're wondering all the STGs were in Normandy 44, 78th were just hoarding them all in their division. Stugs, AT guns, Nashorns, and artillery. The Russians got Super Katyushas with 300mm rockets, giant artillery guns, lots of good CQC infantry, KV-1s, and one lone IS-1.
Okay. So the IS-1, how is that? How is the Joseph Stalin, Eins?
It's thick armor, but alright gun. But
Thick with two
really
Cs?
thick armor. It's 2 C's, capital letters. That's how thick it is.
Oh, geez. All right.
I know.
That's high praise right there. We're already seeing the rockets red glare with the mortars over here. There's 120 mil mortars just absolutely just launching crazy amounts of ordnance.
Yep.
I wasn't even wow. I don't really understand how quick that is until you were on the receiving end of that. Good lord.
Yeah, the mortars are a bit different now because they don't fire like continuously. They just do a barrage volley and then they stop, which is it's definitely much more useful.
I would agree. Kind of interesting, like you said, the 78th Storm Division. I don't know. I was looking at that myself and I'm thinking to myself, like you said, this is an infantry division. Does it make a whole lot of sense? The Strokes, for example, we're not seeing. Ooh, wait, never mind. Sorry, I'm checking out this artillery going back and forth. There's just so much of it.
Yeah. They got all being dropped in those panzers in the middle. Not having a good time.
So here's something. We've talked about the APCR rounds overall, the kind of the composite rounds, and how good they are really in anti-tank fighting. Do you keep them on early yourself, or do you just kind of turn them off until you know you have some definite targets for
I
them?
usually just leave them on for now. I'm too lazy to micro it at the current moment. But definitely for some units, it would be good to micro. Especially if you find like against 5th Panzer, you don't want to be racing those on Panzer 4s.
True. That's true. It's very true. Now, you were telling me about some penal troops over here for the 26th, Strovka, that new Soviet division. Tell the viewers at home, what can we expect out of those squads?
A lot of... Actually, they're not demoralized, which is rather interesting. You think penal troops think demoralized, but it's a 20-man fake squad. I mean, too bad I don't actually have an example on the field at the moment, but AT rifles, 3 machine guns, lots of Bosins, and a few SMGs, and you get a decent amount of them. They're pretty expensive at 40 points for an unvetted infantry squad, but they're really not that bad because they're chunky. The Soviet division's pretty chunky, I think, is a good way to describe it, as everything just comes in extra large packaging.
That seems fair. That does seem fair. Now, if you're looking at the map right now, shockingly, despite the fact that the Soviets are breaking through to the north, it's kind of a very meager breakthrough, and it's not really getting any of those divisional capture points, which is really, again, what we're looking for. We're not looking just for a straight territory anymore.
Yeah, those T-34s kind of pushed a little bit too far, and as you see, they're now behind enemy lines. Fortunately for him, Seaholm doesn't really have much in terms of AT nearby. He does have a Panzer Strike squad, which is moving up, but... Yeah, I mean, still not ideal. Okay, there we go. Man's to reconnect the lines, so his T-34s are no longer behind enemy lines fully.
Yeah, interestingly to me so far, I don't really see too many of these Russian squads that get SVTs. I don't know if this is it's a small thing right now.
I
Have you
know,
seen
yeah.
any SVTs just yet?
Some of the squads, like some of the leader squads I've noticed usually have them, but there hasn't really been like many mainline rifle squads that have SVTs. It's mainly more like leader stuff is what I'm trying to say so far. But hey, probably will be a division that have a bunch of SVT equipped riflemen, I'm
The
guessing.
Hungarians. Ooh, okay, the Shreks up to the north do get themselves their first, at least a bailout. So that's a real Wall Street move right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing pretty well
Damn.
already.
Yeah, that was really good position for the Panzer Strike Squad, definitely saving his ass, yeah. And if he can kill his last T-34, all he has to really do... Well, there's more T-34s in the BA-10. There's always going to be more T-34s, but
Hmm.
I'd say be a mop-up operation. But at the same time, Vekir has managed to get SMG squads into the forest, and the Soviets, on CQC, they're not to be trifled with.
No, they are not. But you did say, and of course, CM over here does have the 70th Sturm. You said that the 70th Sturm with their STGs, you had an experience recently that really kind of showcases the firepower of one of those squads. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I don't know, I was just playing a match, and one of my SVT, like, Sturmshooten squad, which is a 13-man STG squad, managed to kill bloody, like 10 guard. Like, okay, it's a bit exaggerating. Probably like
Only
eight,
barely, though.
probably like 8 guard infantry by himself. He's in a good position and light cover, so he couldn't get shot up by vehicles, but he just had enough range to stop infantry from getting SMG close enough to shoot him.
Hmm.
SMG range, I should really say. But yeah, I mean the STG troops are pretty good, but only in medium range encounters. You don't want to get too close against the Soviets because they'll bite your ankles off with all PPSHs.
Definitely sounds pretty damn true. Now, I'm first of all fascinated to see we have a Panzerbücher down below, actually, a Panzerbücher 41. Those kind of weird kind of monkey guns don't really get a whole lot of play
Mm-hmm.
in our first Steel Division, but this one, of course, we do. Now, we also are going to see an AR-66C. You were telling me that you don't think too highly right now of the anti-air. Why is that?
Wait, which one? Where is it?
Center lines. Erwin Rommel actually is called up in a recon plane overall.
Oh, oh yeah, it's got a little. Oh yeah, it's a little dinky World War II plane. I mean, for the Germans, using recon planes, I've noticed, is a very good strategy. As the Soviets usually have pretty bad anti-aircraft weaponry, especially early on. So as you can see, he's flying around a scrappy recon plane willy-nilly with nothing here to stop him, and he's getting some very good line of sight on all of these vehicles down below.
Hmm. But we are seeing a bit of just a slogging match. The Russians are definitely breaking through to the north. They finally have a 13 versus 11, so they're going to get a slow bleed over here on the Germans.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess in the meantime, what do you see as being the kind of drawbacks for the 26th Guards? Anything
They're
immediately?
not really good at long range engagements. Like the AT's pretty, it's alright. It's nothing too great about their anti-tank, and they don't get as many tanks to spam compared to the other Soviet tank division. But yeah, it's just open ground engagements are not that great. And 78th is vice versa. They're really good in open ground, longer range engagements, especially if they goddamn nasty on some Pack 43s. But I've noticed up close, those Marders and Stugs don't have as good as a time going around forests and whatnot. And the AR does have to get shot down, I believe. Soviets did have to get, yeah, got some anti-air to shoot that little biplane.
No, I'm happy you made that comment. Yes, the Stokes definitely do get kind of outgunned in a kind of a rather swift fashion. I would also say the strange thing about the 78th is that we don't see a whole lot of. Well, they only have 3 tank slots in the first place, and only Stugs.
They only live in the Stug life.
Yeah,
We
and you're
got
not going to get a whole lot of them, honestly.
Yeah, you're really going to be using more of those Marders. As the Marders and Ass ones are really good because they're open top tank destroyers and they have a 1 second aim time bonus. So they're kind of like the fastest gun in the East at the moment, I'd say.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you. But how this match is developing is pretty interesting. The Soviets, as you see, they got really its northern piss going. We got all the artillery, and I'm thinking if he positions himself right, he could probably take his northern town, because he can hook it from the north and hook it
Hmm.
from the east, easy peasy. And there's not really too much German infantry here. It's like one big elite pioneer, and that's a trooper and an all clear, so nothing too fancy.
Definitely seems true. And there's two capture points right in that area, too. So that
Mm-hmm.
is not an inconsiderable amount of territory to take. But at the same time, the Germans are slowly kind of developing this southern push.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not super concerned about this necessarily. I mean, the Russians do have a fair chunk of heavy material down just behind this forest. And what's more than that, they still do have themselves several mortar positions ready to kind of rain fire on that kind of reinforcement. So I can't help but imagine that this is going to kind of
Yeah,
swing back the other direction pretty quick.
yeah, German infantry. Oh, these are actually they do have the SCG, so they're a little bit better, but still not the best in CQC, especially if those
No.
automatical cheekies getting a bit close.
Well, the 10, yeah, well, 10 PPSH is at 4,000 rounds. Yeah, you're not going to win
Yeah,
too much.
well, as you see, the big league grenadier, you know, with decent range, completely stunned up. Yeah, after my cheeky squad, but we've got more infantry coming in from Freud.
So we kind of joked about this beforehand,
Mhm.
before the game even came out. How much of this is just Soviet wave tactics to kind of use all the German ammunition?
Uh, there's a little bit of that, especially if you can get a lot of those guards infantry. You can get a lot of infantry in general for the 26. Also seeing that penal squad down south,
Yes.
which as you see, it's just a chunky squad. Even at its zoomed out level here, you can just see the rave of men being funneled in. Well, yeah, I mean, especially with the tanks, you're definitely using a bit of quantity over quality for the Russian stuff at the moment.
Just a quick callback to what you were saying before. We do have a couple of Maxims that are supporting firepower onto that town. All we have left is we do have that one big Leet Pioneer, and frankly, they are down to barely any ammunition left. The
Oh yeah.
G43s have a couple of mags. That Leet MG42's got 10 rounds. We have a very safe and Private Ryan moment here. Yep, first control point falls, and I think it's just a matter of time before the T-34 and the Ultimate Cheeky push back the Pioneer.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much going to get the town. They got the hill overlooking it to the east, and they have great fire support on there, and mortars being dropped down, so...
Oh, can we also talk about this Soviet spear point that's going through the center? That's
Oh!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 T-34s, 1 Su-85. And we have that P4 and the Panthers that were just kind of hold back. Those guys are one by one getting nailed.
Yep, yep. And that Soviet tank blob is going to be able to break through, though. One of the Su-85's been bailed, and another T-35 crew's been killed. As we do have his Marder 2, I believe he's getting some good side shots. Yeah, he's getting some good shots onto that T-34 blob.
Yeah, that's true, but 2 of the Panzers are already down, and the thing with that mortar too, yeah, the loader's killed, so that's a super slow thing right there. Maxim's charging into the Aufklärer. Wow, I don't know who's going to lose this fight.
Oh, God.
I think it's probably going to be us. Wow, those beasts are also shelling the church. Both sides are shelling the church with their own troops inside.
Oh, the Maxim wins.
Yep. Yep. But I guess he had the maximum effect there.
Oh God, that was
awful.
That was pretty good. God, there's so many different Maxim puns you could make. I'm just thinking of all the terrible ones you could make, but we're going to
go ahead, Ryan. Give a couple. Take it to
the
Maxim.
I can't. We'll just have to come with it organically. You know, they're not. You can't just spit them out automatically. Oh.
Sorry to cut you off, but a Flak 43, the 37 milk is pounded into the paste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the Commandant right nearby, too. I think if I'm like Colonel Klink in it, I think I'd be beating a hasty retreat back to the west.
Yeah. But it's going pretty well so far for Soviets. Nice slow +1 point bleed. And it feels like, I mean, the Germans, they do have some heavy tanks in the middle, but it doesn't feel like they have the forces on the field to stop this Soviet push. It feels like the Russian players so far just either, make one solid breakthrough and the German lines will collapse. Just looking at the mini-map too, the Russians definitely have much more in the field at the moment, and it's all pretty good equipment as well.
This is really kind of unfortunate, is that there was a Nibelwerfer that was trying to find the Katyusha, and had he fired it about another 100 meters to the east, to the northeast in fact, he would have been able to take out that entire park, as well as that command vehicle, that M2, giving veterancy to all those troops in the area.
Yeah, it's a huge kill if you can kill the commander vehicle.
Yes, it is. It is kind of nice to see airsat spam coming back again.
Oh yeah, it's like both German divisions so far have ersatz, so I'm wondering if it's gonna be like a pattern where every single German division will have ersatz troop, and which will be lovely.
I mean, it's kind of hard to not use them early on. I know my 78th deck right now, which of course is not really that refined, but my 78th deck depends a lot on early airsat spam.
Yeah, same.
But I will also say that the deck itself only really gives you 1 or 2 activations over the entire game. I think it is only I think it is only 1 for the 78th. I might be wrong.
Yeah, you only get 1 ersatz card for the 78th and 5th Panzer so far, and you get like 12 of them in A phase, which is
true.
You know, that's like 12 squads of meat shields. That's great. That's perfect. That's all I need.
So just as a quick reminder, so the Nibelwerfer just blows a hole right at the Soviets trying to push out that last Pioneer, who is completely without ammunition right now. Legitimately, he is down to throwing dirty language at the Soviets. Just as a reminder to you guys, so the way, again, that the deck system kind of gets built up over here in SD2 is that you're given a certain number of cards, and it's not by, phase. You pick the phase, you pick the experience, and what you'd select determines how much you get of them. So this airsats trooper thing that we're talking about, where in previous games it was, okay, we're going to go and give you an airsats in A, B, and C, and give you a, human wave worth of that. Not so here. And I guess I want to take a step back from that. We do have our first Rhino actually coming to the field. The national one that you recalled out before.
The endangered species. Yeah,
yes, he is.
Very powerful gun. I mean, it's pretty much the definition of a glass cannon. But in its open field engagement here, he could definitely get into a good position and start picking off some T-34s. But there's also an IS-152 in the middle of that T-34 blob, and that thing's a pretty scary tank to run into in the middle of an open field, especially if you're a soft-skinned rhinoceros. And by rhinoceros means rhinoceros, sorry, we'll refer to it as a rhinoceros sometimes. Wait till we get elephants.
I am looking forward to when we get elephants. They're going to be super slow, they're going to be super useless, but I'm still going to be excited.
Same. It's going to be super thick, yo. Like 200 millimeters of frontal armor, nothing's going to pen out. That's not even an exaggeration, it's literally 200 mil.
Yeah, well, at the same time, though, he was moving maybe 15 kilometers an hour. We might actually get those French tanks, those World War I tanks, moving faster than them.
You don't want to send it up a hill, it might break down.
Yes. And actually, I'm happy with that comment. That did frequently happen back at the time.
Yeah.
We have a bit of a how do I put this? I feel like it feels like a last-ditch effort already. Several Tigers right around the center part of the field, the Fiora behind them. And one by one, they're already getting pwned by these Zis guns kind of engaging from a long distance.
Yeah, the one problem is that he has them blobbed up way too close together. I understand with SD2, like, you can get many more units, and it's easier to just select them into a big group and control them in one big group, as you see, like the Russians.
Ouch.
Yeah, Katyusha and those Tigers are... Aaron Rommel, that wasn't your greatest victory.
Well, you want to know why? Because he read his book.
Oh, God. Jeez.
Man, wow. I actually... That artillery's a lot better...
Look at the clusters, look at the clusters. These Tigers are dead.
Yes.
Watch this.
Yep. I have to admit the Russians have a lot better air force than I gave them credit for.
Yeah, like those cluster bombs are nuts. They're really good. They're really bloody good.
I kind of want to count how many tank skeletons there are there, but I think there's a lot of it's a graveyard.
Probably half a dozen Tigers.
Yeah.
And we've got Stukas now being brought in, but that's again some pretty good hits with Stukas, and you can get a lot of them. They're really not that bad, to be honest. And the Russian AA isn't even that great as well, so you can actually take advantage. Damn! stunning all 2 of its T-34s with one bombing run. It's pretty impressive. And the Yaks are gonna come in and punish that, yo.
Not for nothing. That Flak 43 sounds glorious. Though.
I know, it's really feels like it's gonna mess you down.
He took one out too.
Yeah. Anti-air can kill stuff now. It's weird. And it kills the other one.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Do not fly. Here's the tip of the Russians. Try not to fly over German lines. I mean, you're going to have to if you want to bomb stuff, of course, but try to really minimize your time behind German lines. Because those 88s, those Flak 43s, they're going to mess up your day, man. They're going to mess up your day.
Now, one thing you and I were talking about in terms of the 78th as well, the 78th doesn't really have the best air power. Yes, the Ju-88s are pretty nice to have, the Junkers, but at the same time, not for nothing. If you want to engage any kind of, I don't know, Soviet air power, you need to have at least a 2-to-1 advantage, I would say. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, they got the Messerschmitt fighters, which are nice. So you got...
The 78th?
Yes, yeah, 78th, you got Messerschmitt. You got the Messerschmitt. We got pretty decent anti-air. It's alright. I mean, it's nothing really great. Like, when I'm using my German decks, I'm really focusing A on fighters and then B on recon planes. As I really do like using recon planes. I think they definitely have a very good spot now on ST2.
At least for the moment. I mean, like we said before, though, I mean, just because AA is not a priority to be brought out at such an early time, so you spend 10 points and you're all set to go.
Yep, and also for 78th, you can get a Ju-188 recon plane.
Yes.
Which is hilarious. It's like, oh, you're going to drop big bombs? Now we're just going to take some pictures. Oh, this T-34 in like the middle doing this breakthrough. His gun's jammed, but he's...
Yeah, well, yeah, the fantasy show.
Oh, the Panther Racer can't even get a shot off. How pathetic.
Oh, wait, don't worry. Panther Grenadiers, we have like 3 squads set to go. We're all set. Let's do this.
God, that T-34, he's...
Oh my god, are you serious, boys?
Dude, that T-34 is going to Berlin whether you like it or not. I just want to follow this guy, see if he makes it to the other side of the map. I think we'd have to, like, you know, king him to an IS-2.
You know, right now, this is like the Steve McQueen breakthrough. Like, he passed that whole motorcycle a little while ago,
yep.
But man, jeez.
Too bad his gun's jammed, because he could actually do some serious damage behind enemy lines.
Well, the humorous thing is that was the Panzerbücher an Vierze Goldman right there, who's nice and calm. Well, he's the dude that kind of did some damage. He's moving now down to the south, so I cannot help but feel that T-34, his days are numbered.
Yeah,
I mean,
now,
5 minutes from now when the gun gets there.
Yeah, we got a tiger. We got 2 tigers being brought in, and they're heading the same path. So, yeah, T-34 is not gonna have a good time.
It is worth to note that finally, at long last, the Germans tries again. The Russians did take that northern town. And also worth noting that the Germans down to the south have been pushed back to their previous position. But there's an awful lot of stars there.
Yeah. It's good use of leaders and the commands, like making. Yeah, you've got the commander, a bunch of leaders nearby, so everyone's getting that +2 star advantage.
Now, can you tell us here a little bit more about, again, how that whole commander thing works?
Well, you got the so if you look down south, you got the commander, which has like you're probably selecting it right now.
Yes.
And you have the leaders, and there's a radio range between the commander and different leaders. If the leader's connected to the commander via radio, they give a +2 star veterancy bonus instead of a +1, which is really good. And you can chain them together, so you can have leaders connected to leader, connect to a leader, it's connected to the commander. It's like a spider radio rep, which is really cool. It's really fun to set up, and also it actually does work between allies.
Yes.
So you can have like a giant map ride, like leader allied net between like your friend's commander and your leader unit. It's a really cool system. It's probably my favorite new mechanic in SD2.
That is certainly fair. That's actually one thing I got to get a little bit better with. I'm not used to actually having leaders that don't just kind of run in, throw grenades, and get killed.
Right? What I find I end up doing is sometimes I need to have like a leader in the middle of like pretty much nowhere, so he can connect to another leader on the far side of the flank, so I could get the leader bonuses to him. So I'm just buying leaders just to sit in the middle of the field and do bloody nothing, but it works because I'm getting +2, you know, +2 veterancy advantage on some important units.
So I got to go and be contrary for a
Hmm.
second. I've seen some people who are looking at the scale of this fight now, and they're saying, "I don't like it. It's too much to handle. SD2, thumbs down." What would you say to them?
Uh, it's a different game. I mean, you definitely have more units to
Hmm.
micro, and you're getting more units on the field. But the units are pretty smart. You can like leave. I've noticed. I mean, even with SC44, you can kind of leave a flank by itself, and it usually does alright if you have your guys positioned correctly. It's also not a blob game, as you saw before. If you have a bunch
Hmm.
of tigers blobbed together, they're gonna get shreked on. You want to still micro around, spread your tanks up, try not to, you know, just attack move to win. But yeah. I also want to say for like history player watching right now, this is definitely like a 1v1 2v2 map. So it's right. It may seem rather cluttered, as it's a lot of units on this map. But still, it's not really that bad considering. Like this would be like a standard 3v3 map in SD44. But
Yes.
once again, the range is not as shorter than 44. And look, those
Yes.
Katusas just messing up that Tiger Blob.
Well, just all over the map. I was just zoomed out. We have three or
Hmm.
four different areas on the map that are just getting pounded.
Yeah, like once again, perfect example, especially against the Russians. Don't blob up your tanks. They just become high priority targets for those Katusas.
You were calling something the other day. You were talking to me. You said the Andrusha,
Oh yeah, that's Super Katusha. With
Super
for the
Katusha. So,
26.
do we see that here today? I don't think we saw that yet.
No, I have not. But essentially, it's a Katusha of 300 millimeter rockets instead of 132.
Ah, so we're like upgunning a enable for the Soviets, essentially. Yes.
Yeah, it's like two
Holy
neighbor
hell!
for
Sorry.
42s.
Really, really big, just air wave that just kind of came out. I think the Germans are
Oh
seeing the
god.
writing on the wall. The JU idiots are going in every single direction. There's the Andrusha. Okay, see, Andrusha just fired. He's
Oh
looking
yeah.
for that Befehle Panzer. He's not going to hit it, but
Nope. And here comes the German bombers, but alright, the Soviets actually have pretty decent AA up now. Yeah, they got the 37 mils up. I
mhm.
believe I saw a few like American M15s somewhere, and also some Maxim guns on the back of a truck.
Ah, there's the ESUs.
Yeah, in the bottom right, the Gaz AAs. Bottom right
Yeah,
corner.
I got him. I got him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Real sophisticated technology. Yeah. Why have one Maxim gun when you can have four?
I do like the fact that we're finally getting the update too in terms of the overall messages. So it's not just like but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
geez,
yeah.
the Soviets still have. I feel like I might be wrong, but the Soviets have a wealth of manpower and reserves to kind of draw on here.
Yeah, the Soviet tank division, you can definitely get a lot of T-34s if you play it right. Because
Hmm.
with the Soviets, the strategy is you Katusha something and you move up. If you were to just like attack with Soviet tanks in an open field without the artillery support, especially against 5th Panzer, you're usually going to have a bad time. But if you know how to micro the Katusas correctly, and manage to hit a good strong point, and then move up with the tanks. Yeah, and as we see here, these T-34s are going to get in close to the Tigers, and at close range, they can pretty reliably kill them.
Hmm.
And once you get in close, those T-34s are deadly. Yep, jeez.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why you play the game though. Like, you can't really can't tell me that's not just an obscenely kind of beautiful shot to be looking at.
It's so cool. It's the one thing that's still like blowing my mind of SC2 is the scale of the game. Like we'd never see a tank push like this in SC44. We might see 3 or 4 Shermans move up, and we're like, wow, that's a huge tank push here. But no, we got over half a dozen T-34s
Okay.
pushing
Oh
up.
my gosh.
Yep.
Just from that perspective was beautiful. Having the shots arcing
I
overhead
know.
and the rockets.
Same.
Oh my god, that's so gorgeous.
That was so cool. And now the T-34 is going to charge up. I mean, of course, we'd want infantry in front, but I think at this point, Pineapple doesn't care.
No, he's just looking for his pineapple pen.
Yeah. Pineapple pen.
You remember when that was a thing? That just
Yeah, I
scared
remember.
me.
That was a weird meme.
Berlin or bust. Alright, and the Germans are gonna get pretty well slaughtered here.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to be able to really surrender much of the infantry if they did manage to run back into the forest. But he does have a good position on this area at least. Hopefully he rushes up. Yeah, he's got the infantry being brought in to clear out the German remnants.
Yeah, but no, they that was a push you could not really beat there. That was really well done.
And that's going to be a GG for the Soviets.
So Pineapple Yakuza, minor victory. Apparently he's kind of carrying the team a bit. He was faced off really against Seaholm, wasn't he? No, wait.
I think
Nah, Pineapple Yakuza was right around the center, I guess, to Erwin Rommel.
Yeah, and Commando.
One thing I wish we could still get is I wish we could be selecting different people.
I know, right? But, you know, it's... Can't ask for everything, unfortunately.
That's true. We have one T-34-85. That's got 1, 2, 3, 4 armored vehicles and a mortar.
Oh, yeah. Chabelaine?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, didn't really lose a whole lot, but then again, like I said, those guys unfortunately were not able to really capitalize, I would say, on their kind of defensive positions.
Mm-hmm.
But in any particular case, I'm sorry, yes.
But yeah, it was a good match. I think, I mean, I'd say in balance rise, like, I mean, both sides are pretty good. But I really like that match because it showcased, like, how to push through the Soviet tank division.
Yes.
You know, Katyusha, T-34. Katyusha,
yes.
T-34. You know, 1-2 punch.
And some infantry and trucks to kind of consolidate the position. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The funny thing too is that hopefully we'll see that in the next couple of games over here from the Germans as well. It's possible for the Axis to do it. It's just a little slower.
Yeah, 78th you got Naborev is they're not as good as the Katyushas, but you can still do the same thing. And with 5th Panzer, just as long as you just get a bunch of Tigers and Panthers, spread them out, and you're usually pretty good.
But so that's going to be enough, I think, for this week. I think we're coming back on Tuesday with a nice 1v1, right?
Yeah.
Well, folks, in that case, then, you like what you're seeing, please leave a like under these videos, leave a comment. We'd love to hear more of your thoughts. I know some of you guys want us to have a, commentator tournament, and I'm kind of trying to brush up my skills so I don't completely embarrass Rang, but, until then, though, Rang, any last final thoughts?
No.
All right, in that case, folks, I guess we'll see you all soon. I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.